go, our special guest. We're making the rounds right now, talking about justice, talking about education, talking about help. Oh, there she is. There she is.
Hi, Michael. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Oh, no, we're here. That's all that matters. It's all that matters. So good to see
So
you.
great to
Ariana,
see
how
you.
we doing?
I'm so excited to be introducing you to my Instagram community because ever since Van Jones brought us together, I have so loved getting to know you, and I have learned so much from you and have been so inspired by you. So before we come to the present moment, I'd love to ask you to introduce yourself to our community beyond the fact that you are an assemblyman from the Bronx and running for Congress and doing amazing work, both legislatively and in the community. But take us to the beginnings. Your parents immigrating into the Bronx from Jamaica. What are the milestones that made Michael Blake Michael Blake?
Oh, well, first and foremost, I just got to say thank you to you because so many of us obviously love and respect you, Ariana, for all you continue to do. And you show the power of what happens when we support our women and women entrepreneurs and women in voice. So I just got to say thank you to you first and foremost. For me, I'm riding around right now. We're staying safe here in the Bronx, letting people know that the challenges that we have seen over the years, we'll overcome them. Well, my family is from Jamaica. My mom was from Alexandria, which is in St. Anne's. My daddy was from Papine, outside of St. Andrew, and within St. Andrew, rather. I'm the youngest of four boys. And my oldest brother retired from the Army. He lives in Georgia. I have another brother lives in Philly, another one in London. And then I'm the baby boy, Michael Blake, born on Christmas night. And public schools K through 12 here in the Bronx, continue to be involved in our communities. Really been a blessing to be able to give back and do more. And now, Ariana, we're just making the rounds still. We're out here checking up. There's a church to make sure they have food and PPE. But I'm a kid that was born with a heart murmur. Overcame a car accident when I fell asleep at the wheel in 2001. Recognized that the challenges of both of those wouldn't define me. Had the chance to leave from here and then go work for President Obama, right? On the White House and both campaigns, and really continue to demonstrate. No, I'm not driving. I'm riding. Don't worry, I'm not driving. I'm in the passenger seat. Everybody asking.
I feel better now that you told me. I was getting worried.
No. For me, I came back to the Bronx because I wanted to help my people here and wanted to show my gratitude for so many people that believed in me and gave me a chance. And so, that's the short of my story. My family's motto, we went from no house in Jamaica to Western, to the White House in D.C., to the State House in Albany. So that's who I am.
So, Michael, you've been totally involved in the current struggle. And when we talked about your efforts, for example, to repeal 50A, and then the fact that after 5 years of efforts, this happened, now become been signed by the governor into law. Let's celebrate that victory and explain to us how what's happening in the streets, the protests, the heat in the streets, is actually supporting these legislative victories. And what does this mean going forward?
Well, it's a major victory. For those that don't know about 50A, 50A is the law that we just repealed here in New York that was shielding police personnel records, disciplinary records. So we were unable to find out about police misconduct that was happening. And it was major because too often many of us were just trying to understand, well, why does this person still repeatedly had misconduct? And so the people marching, the people protesting, the people standing up, people speaking up, it led to these laws changing. George Floyd was taken from us. That was a modern day Emmett Till, but the pain of that, the pain of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, so many people, all of that intertwined was preparing us for this moment of saying enough is enough. And what we've said to people all across the country is that you have to take that energy, that pain, that frustration, and turn it into something good. And that's what happened. So the repeal of 50A, the changes of laws all across the country, the people that are mobilizing now, and it's not just the repeal of 50A, it's been, addressing racial profiling and ending of that, the STAT Act, so we can get the statistics on who's being arrested and for what. Medical assistance being provided if you're under a law enforcement detention, concrete ways to help people and provide justice. And what we've now been saying to everybody, is here in the Bronx, we can serve as one of those templates of saying we demand justice. The marching, the protest, the mobilization led to finally getting a first step of justice. But lastly, Arianna, what I would say, I think many of us feel this, and I feel very passionate about this. These officers that did these crimes, they need to be convicted. If we're serious about true justice, if any of us would have done the exact same things, we would be charged, we would be convicted, we would be serving time, and that has to be the fair standard. You can't just take someone's life and there not be any accountability there. And am I saying every single cop's a bad cop? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is you can't be silent when there are bad cops. You can't be silent on a bad system. And so, when we're demonstrating that we got to do more and we got to fight for more of our people, it's not just we're protesting for our own sake, because for 401 years, we've been putting our bodies on the line for this country. And for so many years and so many decades, we have gone out to demand justice and equality, even in our own public health crisis. Now we're seeing progress because of what's happened in the last 3 weeks.
And Michael, you said something to me that I have posted everywhere. You said you can't always be putting your body on the line if your mind is not right. You can't right the wrongs if you are not right. So tell us more about that and about how, because that's what Thrive does on the mental health battlefront, because that's going to help us, all of us, be able to sustain the energy for the struggle, because as you have said, this is a marathon, not a sprint, to be sustainable over the long haul.
No, absolutely. So
While we're waiting, great.
It's okay for us to acknowledge that we're not okay. It's okay for us to acknowledge that what we're seeing is wrong and it's painful and it's hurtful. And as a black man, it is impossible for me to say that I'm fine. When you're watching brutality, when you're watching lives being taken, when you're watching just continual heartache, we have to be honest with ourselves about that. And so, what do? We have to have a real conversation about mental health and the trauma that is emerging because of the drama. If you keep seeing black people be killed right in front of your eyes, if you keep seeing injustice right in front of your eyes, if you keep witnessing pain right in front of your eyes,
The evils of the world in a humble and loving spirit. So the idea that we can tap into that place of strength and resilience in us, and from that place. Hi, Michael, are you back?
yeah, we are, I think maybe Instagram.
Okay. Police brutality on your brothers and sisters. Michael, I don't know if you've been hearing me, but I've been trying to connect our current conversation on mental health with the civil rights conversation on self-care. Martin Luther King, in sermon after sermon, talked about that. Rosa Parks famously practiced meditation and yoga. So what are you doing to support yourself?
Oh, there's no question. So I was joking earlier that maybe Instagram is not ready for us to have this kind of justice conversation. I don't know why it keeps messing with us right now. The the premise is first that, you know, we're not okay by all that's happening, by all that we're watching, by the pain we're watching, and the continual impact of seeing people be killed and hurt is exhausting in every possible way. You know, now our job has to be to give ourselves the space to heal, give ourselves the time to heal, give ourselves the ways to heal, because it's impossible to keep fighting the fight for justice if you don't feel right, you know? And so I'm giving myself time. It's everything from daily prayer time. I do daily devotionals with my mom in the morning on the phone. She's in Florida. I'm here over FaceTime. You know, the little things of extra, you know, 2 to 3 minutes of quiet stretching in the morning, nothing else. I also try as best as possible, even if it's just 2 to 3 minutes throughout, give myself the time for a break, to take the deep breaths and to reset.
Yes.
And when I need to, just to shut it down. Because you could be watching this pain over and over and over again, and it becomes too much. It becomes too much, you know? And you got to realize that it's okay to turn off the TV if you're hurting. It's okay to call that friend and be very vulnerable. I've been very vulnerable with many of my friends and saying like, yo, I'm just checking on you because I just need someone to talk to. And I think to the core questions here, it's impossible to see Black people be harassed and hunted and killed in this way and it not have impact on you.
Absolutely. And then do you think there is still a reluctance to speak about that in the community?
Absolutely. There's a stigma that's real. You know, be quiet, don't talk about it. You know, that's crazy. You know, no one wants to hear about your mental health challenges. And I can't remember who said it. I wish I could find out who it said so I can give them credit. But they said, is there anything else in your body that if it didn't feel right, you wouldn't go get it checked out?
Yes.
You know, and when we're talking about criminal justice and mental health and the intersectionality here, and that's why we're so grateful for the work of Thrive. If my spirit is off, my mind is probably off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If my conscience is tugging at me, then I know something on my mind is tugging on me. And it's that premise point. That's what we said earlier, you know. I cannot right the wrongs if I'm not right. And that means if I'm not right mentally, if I'm not right emotionally, if I'm not right spiritually. And we have to do a better job of opening up the doors to talk very directly in communities of color, that it is okay to have a very real conversation around the impact of this injustice on our mental health.
Well, we want Thrive wants to be here for this. You know, we want you to connect us to the different communities, organizations that we can bring our work, our micro steps, our facilitators to support what people are going through at the moment.
Well, you know, we want to partner up with you. I mean, there's several here, you know, Bronx Defenders, Bronx Community Relief Effort, you know, Arc of Justice, Until Freedom, are several of those great causes that definitely need to be amplified and lifted up so we can demonstrate that there's good things happening here, you know, and in large part, we need to have the blend of criminal justice and social justice advocacy organizations that partner up with mental health allies to be able to do it all at the same time. So absolutely, and agreed and looking forward to that connection that we're built together.
Great, we'll do that. And also, we'd love to support the work you are doing to reinstate the summer youth employment program, because I was reading the moving essays from teenagers who were looking forward to that summer youth employment program, and now it's been canceled. And where does that stand? Give us an update.
So the city council, I'm in the state assembly right now. And running for Congress, so we're balancing it all out there. But the city council is in their budget negotiations here in New York City, and the mayor did an initial proposal to cut the summer youth employment program. Many of us vehemently disagree with that. It didn't make any sense to tell the young people that you're not going to give them opportunities when they clearly need them and they need to be supported. And so it's demonstrated very clearly. We should be building schools, not jails. Right? We should be investing in our young people on the front end rather than trying to lock them up on the back end. And so the ways that everyone can be helpful is, make it a point to utilize your social media pressure and other pressures to really push aggressively over the next 2 weeks here in New York specifically to demand that the summer youth employment program not only is not cut, but it should be expanded, and equally that there's work done remotely, right? That to say that, well, we're not going to do it because we're not in the same physical spaces. Okay, I hear that because we got to stay safe. However, we need to ensure that there is absolutely remote opportunities in every possible way. We can find a way to do that for much more trivial things. We should absolutely find a way to be able to do it when it comes to our young people having an opportunity in the summertime.
So we would love, first of all, to publish the stories that young people have written about it, which I think will have a big impact on those who don't know about the Summer Youth Employment Program. And also, Michael, as we're coming to the end of our half hour together, what are the words you want to leave us with?
Tell someone that you love them. All of us have experienced a lot of pain in the last few months. And, I had one of my boys, 46 years old, who passed away due to coronavirus. And on the flip side, you have the pain of the police brutality that's happening as well. So tell people that you love them. 2, the protests, the mobilization, the marching, it's working. And so celebrate the victories. Celebrate the victories along the way. Make sure people are aware of how we've been able to have progress when it didn't seem possible. Just real quick, people can ask me. I'm not driving. Jacob is driving.
Hi, Jacob.
Okay. There you
Hi,
go.
how are you?
Okay. I'm in the passenger seat. Everybody keeps asking. That's number 2. Number 3, we need people to go fill out the census, and we need you to go vote. Because when we talk about how things change, they change by how there are resources in our communities, and they change by having the right people in place. And so I think, Arianna, the thing I want to leave people with is be very concrete about how we achieve progress. There's a difference between activity and progress. Activity is when we're just doing a lot of things out there. Progress is when you see things moving and changing for the better. And the progress we've seen in the last 3 weeks has demonstrated that. And so, for those that might be meeting me for the first time, I'm asking you to learn a little bit more about me. I am a kid from the Bronx that's running for Congress here in the Bronx, Blake for Congress.nyc. But I'm a kid who also experienced police brutality myself, who had a chance to grow up here, work for President Barack Obama, and then came back home. And all I'm saying to everybody, it's time to turn pain into promise. And that's what we can do together, utilizing great champions and sheroes like you, Arianna, and I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you, Michael. I love you. We are here to keep updating our community on your story, on the struggle and the victories. And I love what you said, celebrate the victories and also do practical, specific things we can do to bring about change. Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you for everything you do. Much love to you. Much love to everybody. And stay safe, everybody out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now.